You could be the most loving, supportive, understanding woman in the world, but if you ignore these 6 rules, even the man who once couldn't live without you will start forgetting about you without even realizing why he's moved on. And here's the part that might shock you. These rules have absolutely nothing to do with being more beautiful, more successful, or more giving. They have everything to do with something most women have been programmed to abandon the moment they enter a relationship: your irreplaceable essence. I'm going to tell you something that might disturb you, but it's the absolute truth. The women who become unforgettable, who haunt men's thoughts years later, who get missed deeply and regretted permanently, aren't necessarily the most gorgeous or the most accomplished. They're the ones who understand something about male memory that most women completely overlook. And once you grasp these 6 rules, you'll never have to wonder again why some women become legends in men's minds while others fade into distant memories. What if I told you that the reason men forget you has nothing to do with what's lacking in you and everything to do with how you handle what makes you extraordinary? That the very behaviors you've been told make you unfeminine are actually what make you impossible to forget. Today, we're going to reveal 6 subtle but devastating rules that can completely transform how men remember you, miss you, and regret losing you. But here's the warning. These rules require you to do the exact opposite of what every relationship guide has ever taught you. Before we explore the 6 rules, let's shatter a dangerous myth. Being memorable isn't about being perfect, accommodating, or making a man's life more comfortable. That's not memorable, that's forgettable. And men don't miss comfortable. They miss women who changed them, challenged them, and made them feel truly alive. Most women have been conditioned to believe that being missed comes from giving more, understanding more, accepting more. But here's what years of studying human attachment has revealed. The women who get missed most deeply are the ones who maintained their mystery while loving completely, who stayed whole while building something together. Men are wired to miss what felt irreplaceable. And irreplaceable isn't created by being indispensable to their daily routine. It's created by being unforgettable to their soul, not through manipulation or games, but through authentic presence that leaves an imprint they can never quite shake. Think about the last person who left a lasting impact on your life. I guarantee it wasn't because they made everything easy for you. It was because they showed up as themselves so fully that they expanded your world in ways you didn't know were possible. The 6 rules we're about to uncover aren't strategies. They're not about making men miss you through absence or creating artificial scarcity. They're about returning to the version of yourself that's so genuinely captivating that your presence becomes a benchmark against which everything else is measured. They're about understanding that the right man won't just miss you, he'll carry you with him as a standard for what real connection feels like. So if you've been exhausting yourself trying to be indispensable to everyone, if you've been making yourself smaller to avoid being forgotten, this is your awakening. The woman you're about to rediscover doesn't worry about being missed. She becomes impossible to forget. Rule 1, never justify your standards. Live them like natural laws. The fastest way to become forgettable is to negotiate your own worth. When you say things like, I hope this doesn't sound unreasonable, or I don't want to seem demanding, but I expect, you're not setting standards, you're apologizing for having a backbone. Men don't miss women who explain why they deserve basic respect. They miss women who embody respect so naturally that questioning it feels absurd. Here's what most women don't understand about male psychology. Men remember women who made them step up, not women who begged them to, not women who provided detailed justifications for why loyalty matters, women who simply expected excellence and let that expectation speak for itself. When you start your standards with disclaimers or lengthy rationales, you're programming him to see your boundaries as suggestions rather than requirements. And the moment a man learns that your standards bend under pressure, you become just another option instead of the exception. A woman who becomes unforgettable doesn't wonder if expecting consistency makes her high maintenance. She knows it makes her selective. She doesn't question whether wanting genuine effort is asking too much. She questions why she's entertaining anyone who thinks it is. This isn't about being harsh or inflexible, it's about being clear. When you say, "I don't do half-hearted," you don't follow it with a dissertation about your past disappointments and why you need certainty. You let the statement exist in its full power. The right man won't need you to justify why you deserve his best effort. He'll be grateful to finally meet a woman who knows what excellence looks like. Because here's the secret men won't tell you. Deep down, they want to be challenged to become better, not enabled to stay mediocre. Your standards aren't excessive. Your explanations are what make them forgettable. Rule 2. Create magnetic space instead of suffocating presence. Most women, when they sense emotional distance, immediately close the gap. They ask more questions, initiate deeper conversations, try harder to reconnect. But here's what happens when you crowd uncertainty. You transform natural processing time into relationship pressure. Men process emotions through space, not through discussion. When a man pulls back, it's usually not about you, and almost always about him working through something internally. But when you pursue him during that processing time, you turn his natural rhythm into a source of stress. And stressed men don't form fond memories, they form escape routes. Creating magnetic space doesn't mean disappearing or playing mind games. It means having the self-assurance to let natural rhythms exist instead of trying to control every moment of connection. Consider this. When you chase emotional closeness, you're essentially communicating, "I don't trust you to work through this on your own, and I don't trust myself to be okay while you do." That energy feels overwhelming, even when it comes from genuine love. But when you create magnetic space, you're communicating something entirely different. You're saying, "I'm secure enough in my own worth to let you have your process. And I trust that if this connection is real, you'll return to it naturally. If not, I'll still be whole." That kind of confidence becomes unforgettable because it's so rare. Most women panic at the first sign of emotional distance and immediately shift into pursuit mode. But a woman who leaves lasting impressions understands that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is trust the connection enough to give it room to breathe. Here's what happens when you create space instead of chasing connection. Men stop experiencing you as needy and start experiencing you as intriguing. They stop feeling cornered and start feeling curious. They stop associating you with pressure and start associating you with peace. Space creates longing. Pursuit kills it. And a man will always remember more fondly the woman who gave him room to choose her rather than the one who made choosing feel like surrendering. Rule 3. Respond to actions, never to promises or potential. This is where most women lose their power and their memorability completely. They fall in love with who a man might become instead of dealing with who he actually is in this moment. They make excuses for inconsistency, wait for potential to transform into reality, and invest in future promises instead of present behavior. But here's the truth that separates unforgettable women from forgotten ones. A man's potential is not your investment opportunity. His words are not his character, and his inconsistency is not a phase to wait through. It's information to act on. When you respond to potential instead of reality, you teach men that they don't actually need to change to keep your attention. You teach them that good intentions are sufficient, that promising is equivalent to delivering, and that your love is available regardless of their actual effort. Men remember women who dealt in reality, not fantasy. When a man says he'll prioritize you but doesn't, an unforgettable woman doesn't create elaborate explanations or give chances number 17 through 25. She simply observes that his actions don't align with his words and responds to that truth. This doesn't mean being unforgiving or harsh. It means being honest about what you're actually experiencing versus what you're hoping to experience. The woman who becomes impossible to forget is the one who says, "I hear what you're saying, but I respond to what you're doing." She doesn't argue about potential or try to convince someone to value her. She watches patterns and makes decisions based on those patterns. When you stop responding to potential and start responding to reality, something shifts in male psychology. Men realize that their words alone aren't enough to maintain your interest. They understand that if they want your continued presence, attention, and affection, they have to earn it through consistent action, not just compelling conversation. And here's the beautiful truth: the right man won't be offended by this standard. He'll respect it. Because men know the difference between their intentions and their actions, even when they're hoping you won't notice the gap. Rule 4. Embrace your complexity without explanation. Most women are so terrified of being seen as difficult, complicated, or too intense that they flatten themselves into something simple for everyone else to process. But here's what that costs you: your depth, your magnetism, and ultimately your memorability. The moment you start editing your complexity to be more palatable, you stop being captivating. Because fascination isn't about being easy to understand, it's about being authentically multifaceted, genuinely layered, and completely yourself without apology or explanation. Men don't miss women they figured out in the first conversation. They miss women who continued revealing new dimensions, who had depths that took time to discover, who maintained their intriguing nature throughout the entire connection. When you make peace with being complex, you stop performing simplicity. You stop trying to prove your low maintenance to people who mistake depth for drama. You stop explaining your emotional range to people who prefer emotional flatness. This is incredibly liberating because it means you can finally exist fully without constantly monitoring how others are receiving your authentic self. You can have nuanced opinions without needing universal agreement. You can experience the full spectrum of human emotion without needing everyone's comfort with your range. And here's what happens when you embrace your complexity. The shallow people naturally filter themselves out, and the deep people are magnetically drawn in. It's like an automatic sorting system that saves you years of trying to force compatibility with people who were never meant to appreciate your depths anyway. Men are drawn to women who are comfortable with their own contradictions, who can be strong and vulnerable, independent and connected, serious and playful, all without feeling the need to explain how all these aspects coexist within them. Embracing complexity doesn't mean being unnecessarily difficult or deliberately confusing. It means accepting that you contain multitudes, and that's exactly what makes you unforgettable. Because the goal isn't to be understood by everyone, it's to be deeply appreciated by the right someone. Rule 5, trust your intuitive knowing over his verbal explanations. Your intuition is not your insecurity talking or your past creating paranoia. It's your internal guidance system that processes subtle cues, energy shifts, and behavioral patterns your analytical mind hasn't caught up to yet. Most women have been socialized to doubt their gut feelings, especially when they contradict what a man is directly telling them. Society conditions us to be rational, to give people the benefit of the doubt, to not make assumptions. But your intuition doesn't make assumptions. It reads energy signatures that your conscious mind isn't equipped to interpret yet. When something feels inconsistent, it usually is. When his behavior contradicts his declarations, trust the behavior. When you sense mixed signals, you're probably receiving them. And when every fiber of your being is registering that something isn't aligned, honor that knowing. Men develop deep respect and lasting memories of women who trusted their own perceptions. There's something profoundly attractive about a woman who doesn't need external validation to know what she knows. She doesn't need him to admit he's being inconsistent. She can sense it. She doesn't need him to confess his uncertainty. His energy reveals everything she needs to understand. This kind of inner knowing is powerful because it's unmanipulable. A man can't gaslight a woman who trusts her own perception. He can't convince her that inconsistent is actually consistent when she can clearly feel the difference. Trusting your intuition doesn't mean becoming suspicious or assuming negative intentions in every interaction. It means honoring the wisdom that comes from your body, your emotions, and your subconscious pattern recognition. It means understanding that your feelings are data, not obstacles to logic. When you learn to trust your inner knowing over someone else's explanations, you stop getting caught in confusion loops. You stop creating elaborate justifications for behavior that doesn't feel right. You start making decisions from clarity instead of hope. And men notice this shift immediately. They realize they're dealing with a woman and who can't be easily deceived or convinced to doubt her own reality. A woman who knows herself so completely that she doesn't need anyone else to validate what's true. Rule 6. Choose your own fulfillment before anyone else's comfort. This is the rule that creates legends, and it's the one most women resist the most. Choosing your fulfillment first doesn't mean being selfish or uncaring. It means understanding that you cannot create lasting love from a foundation of self-abandonment, and you cannot become unforgettable if you make yourself forgettable to yourself. Most women have been programmed to believe that love means sacrifice, that caring means prioritizing everyone else's comfort over your own fulfillment, and that a worthy woman always puts others first. But this creates resentment, exhaustion, and ultimately complete loss of the very essence that made you attractive in the first place. Men don't miss martyrs. They miss women who had a strong sense of self and the courage to honor it. They're haunted by women who built lives they loved, pursued goals that excited them, and maintained sources of joy that didn't depend on anyone else's participation. When you consistently choose your fulfillment first, you're not being selfish, you're being responsible for your own happiness. You're taking care of the person you'll spend your entire existence with, yourself. And you're demonstrating how you expect to be treated by showing how you treat yourself. Choosing your fulfillment means saying no to situations that drain your energy, even when saying no creates temporary discomfort for others. It means pursuing your own dreams with the same intensity you'd support someone else's. It means leaving environments that diminish you, even when leaving requires courage. This doesn't mean you can't be generous with your time and energy. It means you give from abundance rather than depletion, from choice rather than obligation, from love rather than fear. And here's what happens when you consistently choose your fulfillment first. You become more attractive, not less. You become someone worth pursuing because you're not desperately available to everyone. You become someone worth missing because you clearly value your own company. Men remember women who had standards for themselves, not just expectations for others. They're haunted by women who created lives worth joining, not women who were waiting for someone else to make their lives worth living. Real life transformations. When women apply these rules, let me share what happens when women actually implement these 6 rules in their daily lives. Because this isn't just theory, it's transformation that creates lasting impact. Consider Sarah. She had spent 2 years in a relationship with someone who couldn't seem to prioritize their connection consistently. She kept explaining why they worked well together, chasing conversations about commitment, and making herself available whenever he showed renewed interest. Then she discovered these rules. Instead of justifying her worth, she started embodying it. Instead of chasing clarity about his intentions, she started paying attention to his actual behavior. Instead of responding to his potential, she started responding to his patterns. Within 6 weeks, he was either fully committed or completely gone. No more confusion, no more mix. D signals, no more wasted energy. Or take Christina, who used to apologize for having emotional depth and asking for genuine connection. She would preface every important conversation with explanations about why her needs were reasonable, hoping to make her complexity seem acceptable. When she stopped explaining her depth and started simply living it, everything shifted. The men who couldn't handle her authentic self naturally moved on. The men who could appreciate her complexity stepped up immediately. She went from constantly defending her emotional range to simply expressing it without apology. Then there's Michelle, who had always been the woman who sacrificed her own goals to support everyone else's dreams while neglecting her own fulfillment. She thought love meant self-abandonment, that caring meant putting herself last. When she started choosing her own fulfillment first, she didn't become selfish, she became magnetic. She built a life she genuinely loved, independent of any relationship. She pursued her passions, maintained her friendships, honored her values, and suddenly she wasn't attracting men who needed rescuing. She was attracting men who were already whole and looking for an equal partner to share an abundant life with. These transformations didn't happen overnight, but they happened predictably, because when you change your internal relationship with yourself, your external relationships shift to match that energy. What's remarkable about these stories isn't just that these women transformed their love lives, it's that they transformed their entire existence. Sarah didn't just get clarity in her relationship, she got clarity about her worth. Christina didn't just stop apologizing for her depth, she started celebrating it. Michelle didn't just attract better men, she became a better version of herself. And that's the real power of these rules. They don't just change how men see you, they change how you see yourself. They don't just make you more attractive to others, they make you more attracted to your own life. Because here's what I've learned after working with thousands of women. The ones who get missed most deeply aren't the ones who tried hardest to be missed. They're the ones who were so busy living fully that being forgotten became impossible. Daily integration, living. These rules in real time. Understanding these rules intellectually is one thing. Integrating them into your daily existence is what creates the